Hey guys, Buff and Gaming back bringing you another video, and today we're going to cover all of the M4A1 conversions and variants you can do as of Season 0. So this is prior to Season 1. When that comes, I know there's going to be some different variants and builds we can do. So what we're going to do is cover all the ones that I've found, particularly for Season 0 so far. This is 5 or 6 weeks after the game is released, and then we'll do one after Season 1 and season to season. So there's a lot of M4 builds that we can do for weapon conversions here. So what we'll do is go through each one. I'll show you how to build it and get your feedback in the comments below which ones you like the best. So what we're going to do is show some new ones here that I haven't done videos on, and then go over, reiterate some ones that we have shown before in the past, and I'll show you some different variants using some blueprints. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So first off, we're going to start with the M16A3 OG blueprint. So what this one is, if we go to our blueprints here, this is the one you get for completing max rank of 156. So this is the OG blueprint you get for hitting max rank in the game. And you can see this is the M16 from COD 4, the M16 Grenadier version with the carrying handle, the classic M16 carrying handle that we see here on the top. So this is the blueprint you get. The attachments for this particular weapon are the M16 Grenadier stock, or I'm sorry, barrel. The stock for the M16, which has the blueprint customization of Operation Get Some, and you can see the overall weapon has kind of like a dirty, different camo to it there. You can see some dirt, almost like a woodland type of very light camo on the weapon. The perk, you get the 3-round burst by default as well. Ammunition, you have that 50 round Stenag mag to give you the full black magazine for the M16 Grenadier version here, as well as the M203. So this is the exact replica of the M16 you start with in COD 4. The only issues with this one is the 3-round burst is very, very unusable in-game. You're going to lose a lot of engagements face-to-face with this one, so you're almost going to really have to take your enemy by surprise, and it's never a one-burst kill. Usually it's, for me, it's taking minimum 2, sometimes 3 bursts to kill somebody, so definitely not the best idea to use it in 3-round burst unless it's for nostalgia. I would remove that 3-round burst and use that 5th attachment somewhere else, but definitely with the full auto on this, it's more usable. Your ADS speed on this is also kind of bad, so you can go ahead and throw that additional attachment for maybe a rear grip, like the stubble pistol grip. This will give you better ADS speed as well as sprint to fire speed, and that'll help out a lot. Now, another variant we can make out of this blueprint is the M16A4. So what we'll do for that one is we're going to go ahead and take off the 3-round burst, get rid of our M203, and then for the stock, we're going to want that Corvus Custom Marksman barrel. So this is that custom 19-inch M16A4 style barrel. Go ahead and select that. And now this is the one if we wanted it with a carrying handle. Obviously, we would use this OG blueprint. And you can go ahead and throw, let's say, a Ranger foregrip, all personal preference, which one you want. And now you have your M16A4. And then if you wanted to do something like an optic, you'd get rid of that carrying handle and use it with a holographic. And this would kind of give you that, if anybody played Battlefield 3, this is kind of almost like that M16A3 build that we see in that game as well. So you can go ahead and customize this one however you want with, you can go standard magazines on that. You could throw a tack laser on to give it more of a look. This is kind of a similar build here that we did in our video on this. And I'll do all the timestamps down below as well. So this one is the M16A4 using the OG blueprint. The good thing here is it gives us that black pistol grip as well as the OG buttstock as well. So we can go ahead and do 50 round mags, and here is our A4. If we got rid of the sight and we want the carrying handle, there you go. You can go ahead and do a stipple pistol grip on this. Or you can go ahead and just throw a tack laser on there instead of the grip as well. And there you go, that M16A4 from the OG M4 blueprint. So next up, let's take a look at another new one here, being the MK12 SBR, or Special Purpose Rifle. So we'll go ahead and look at the details for this. So this is another blueprint that I used out of the XRK. Feel free to use this really with any. You can make this with the base M4 as well as the OG if you wanted. What I did, the XRK blueprint, is because the buttstock for the M16 you can see is different for this blueprint. So it gives you a adjustable buttstock for this particular blueprint. So you can see we have our base buttstock for the M16. If you look at this on an OG or a base M4 build, you're going to get the regular M16 OG buttstock. So this is the XRK buttstock. Gives it more of that modern adjustable buttstock, kind of like a Magpul stock for the SBR. And you can also make it with a standard M16 stock. So with the attachments here, we have a monolithic suppressor, the Corvus custom barrel for the M16A4. So that in real life, the barrel length on the MK12 Mod 0 SPR is going to be 18 inches. But here, obviously, the best, closest one we can get is 19. So we're going to add that extra inch here with the 19-inch M16A4 barrel. Optic, feel free to go either with a sniper sight or a variable zoom. So the variable zoom is going to give you 3 to 5.6 zoom, whereas the sniper is going to give you that 8 times. It really depends on how you're going to use this weapon. Then obviously we have our XRK Magpul adjustable buttstock, and then we've used the fifth attachment for the bipod to give us more stability for recoil control with crouch and prone. So this, you can use this a couple different ways. I've used it in game and not the most viable to use as an MK12, just because being 5.56, you can select fire to single, or you could even put a 3-round burst on this to allow for burst fire and try and take out targets faster, but it's not very viable in game, being that the damage is so low if you're tap firing or burst firing. Really, the M4 is built in this game to be a fully automatic rifle, so you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage. And I've tried sniping with it. It's definitely not a viable sniper also, just because the zoom, you only get an 8-time zoom versus something like the other sniper rifles, you might get a 12-time zoom. So if you're posting up on buildings, not the greatest thing. But if you're doing medium range engagements, you select fire to single, or if you threw the 3-round burst on there, I think you'd probably be okay. Again, it's just how you personally want to use this build. So this is the MK12 Mod 0 special purpose rifle, and definitely a nice build. What we did here, again, with the XRK blueprint, you get that M16 buttstock, which is more of a Magpul, but you also get a PMag for the magazine. So this is also a Magpul PMag versus what you would get with the standard M4. In the game, you get it's more of a tan magazine, different magazine. So here I want to keep that black magazine look without selecting the 50-round mag. So I simply went with this blueprint for the XRK, just because you get the Magpul PMag with this, as well as a black colored rubberized pistol grip. And you can go ahead and see if we took the if we took the camo off this, you can see here the XRK. So you have the black Magpul magazine, the black pistol grip, as well as the black Magpul buttstock there. And then obviously you have the goldish color for the upper and lower there for the receiver. So that's why we go ahead and use a different camo so we can cover that up. So that is our MK12 Mod 0 SPR out of the XRK. Again, you can build this out of pretty much any blueprint you wanted in the game. I just chose this for the stock grip and the Magpul mag. So next up, let's get into another new one that I know a lot of you have been requesting, is the M4 SOPMOD. So a lot of you may remember this one from Call of Duty 4. It was also featured in Modern Warfare 2, I believe, also MW3. So there's a couple different ways you can make this. Let's go into the attachments that I did here. I customized it a little bit for my specifications that I liked. So for here, I have the lightweight suppressor for sound suppression. My cons here are damage at range, which that's okay. You could also do a monolithic suppressor if you wanted to include or get a pro for your damage at range and sound suppression. The only downside here is the ADS speed and walking speed, which is why I went with the lightweight suppressor, because I don't want to have to compensate for that elsewhere. The barrel on this is the FFS 14.5 tack light. So this is actually the only M4 barrel we have in the game. This is a Daniel Defense M4 barrel. The other ones in the base are more of a MK18. So this is the M4 barrel here. This is the faster ADS speed. Only con here is bullet velocity, which we've kind of made up for with the, you can make up for with the suppressor and elsewhere if you wanted. I also went with the tack laser here. Give us that green tack laser from COD 4. And then here's the optic, is more personal preference. I went with the Canon hybrid optic just because I wanted that 3.25 zoom, as well as the ability to toggle to the red dot sight for the Canon iron sight or the Canon red dot sight there. You can go ahead and do, if you wanted to replicate exactly to COD 4, you could do some sort of red dot as well. But you can see that candid hybrid iron sight, or that candid hybrid red dot. So I got the 3.5 and then that 45-degree candid red dot there, which comes in handy if you're in CQC combat. Then we skipped out on the stock, perk, grip, as well as ammunition, because we're using the, for this one again, you can see we're using the XRK blueprint here. So we have that PMag for Magpul, that black PMag for the 30 round, as well as we have a standard color black pistol grip as well. So the only other attachment here is the M203 grenade launcher that we put on the underbarrel here. And that is our M4 SOPMOD. Again, you can kind of personalize this however you wanted. You could also build this out of the OG variant of the M4 as well, but again, I wanted that black Magpul mag here, so I used the XRK. I didn't want that standard tan magazine that you would get with the base M4. So you can see here, if I just went back, that's our XRK blueprint that we're building this off of. So that allows us to just have a better looking camouflaged weapon, no matter what camo you decided to put on this, right? So that's our M4 SOPMOD from COD 4. Very nice. This thing handles really well in game. I use this a lot, actually. You can swap out the 203 grenade launcher also and do something like a Ranger foregrip I like a lot, as well as the base Commando foregrip works really well as well with the M4 SOPMOD. So that's the M4 SOPMOD from COD 4 MW2. Next, let's get into the Colt Commando from Black Ops 1. This is also known as the XM177. So let's go ahead and build that. What we're going to want for this, more personal preference, I'm going to build it off of the OG blueprint to give it that carrying handle look that we want. So I'm going to go into the gunsmith here. My main attachments, let's strip this quick. So now you can see we have the carrying handle for the OG blueprint. So what we're going to want here is the FSS 11.5 inch Commando. This is the shortest barrel that we can get in the game for this. Then we're going to go ahead and do the M16 stock. Again, this is kind of personal preference. I'm giving it that old school Colt Commando look. You can go ahead and do a base M4 stock or a Forge Tac CQS if you wanted to as well, to keep it more of a adjustable butt stock. So we're going to go ahead and FFS Commando, M16 stock. Then we're going to go ahead and do for the underbarrel, we'll go ahead and put just any grip you want on here. We'll do the Commando 4 grip. Unfortunately, we have a Picatinny quad rail on the barrel, whereas in Black Ops 1, obviously there was no rails on that, being that it was Cold War era. So this is as close as we're going to get. You can also go ahead and throw a 50-round mag on there to give it that black Stenag mag look. And then you have 4 attachments, so you can use the last one wherever you see fit. You can go ahead and put a suppressor, or if you want to use this for CQC, which is kind of really what it's built for, go ahead and do the stipple pistol grip. And there's your Black Ops 1 closest variant you can get to the Colt Commando, also known as the XM177, out of the M4 OG blueprint. So again, you can build this out of the base M4 or the XRK if you wanted. But if you want the carrying handle, you're going to want to go with the OG blueprint that you get at level 156. So you can also, if you want to put an optic on here, something like a red dot, similar to Black Ops 1 that we saw, you can go ahead and do that. Or the base iron sights that you wanted from, similar to Black Ops 1, go ahead and use a base M4 or even an XRK build for this. But that's our Colt Commando, XM177. Next up, let's get into the MK18 builds. So first up, we have let me back out here. Let's go to, actually first we're going to do the SR25, I think. So the SR25 we built in a video. I'll put it down there in the bio. This one, very similar to the MK12 Mod 0. Main difference here is that we're selecting the 4.58 SOCOM rounds because we don't have a 7.62 millimeter conversion that the SR25 takes in real life. We're going to want that 4.58 SOCOM. So this is going to give us a lot more damage and more range. Obviously, it's only a 10 round mag, which fits with that SR25 10 to 20 round box mag. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And essentially, it's the same as the MK12, right? We have the Corvus Custom Marksman for the M16A4 19-inch barrel. It's going to give us damage at range, bullet velocity, recoil control. Optic, this is again personal preference. Variable zoom works very well. Sniper scope works very well. I know Swag did a video off of this build that I did, and I think he got a nuke with this one with the variable zoom on this, but that's personal preference, which sight you want, depending on what range your engagements are going to be. Then we can do that M16 buttstock. You can see here we're using the OG blueprint again because we wanted that black pistol grip, as well as you can get the M16 stock with the base as well, but we want that black pistol grip, give it that overall black finish for the SR25. And then obviously just mags, like I said, a 458 SOCOM to kind of replicate the damage of a 7.62, give us that increased damage versus the base 5.56, and then obviously the bipods. So this is the SR25 build that we've done in a video before. This one's just using the OG blueprint for the M4 at 156. This one works really well in game 2 again. I'll link the video down below, and Swag did a video on this one as well, and I said I think he got a nuke with this one. So it's definitely more viable in game versus the MK12 that we did, which is just the 5.56. This one will pack a punch when you hit somebody, usually a 2-shot kill. So now let's get into the MK18 build. So there's actually 2 MK18 builds. So first off, we'll start with mod 0. So this particular build here is the base M4 I'm using for this, just to give it that the right buttstock that we wanted. Unfortunately, we can't make it black. If you wanted, you could do a CQC stock there, but we're going to keep with the base M4. So what you want for the MK18 CQBR mod 0 is you want the barrel for the FFS 11.5 Commando. It's going to give you the shortest barrel you can get in the game. Aim down sight speed as well as movement speed are going to be your pros. Bullet velocity and recoil are your cons. But again, this is a close quarters battle rifle, so we can take those cons for this build for the way we're using it. Attack laser, this again, personal preference. Since it's CQB, we want that fast ADS speed, aiming stability, and walking steadiness. The only downside to laser is visible to enemies, but again, it's not going to be, your laser's only on if you're ADSing, so if you're just careful where you ADS and you're not ADSing down a lane giving away your position, you should be fine. For the optic, I personally like the hollow on this. This is, again, personal preference. Stock and perk will skip. Rubberized pistol grip, so we're going to do the stipple pistol grip here, and this is going to help with our ADS speed as well as our sprint to fire speed, which is what we want, this being a close quarters battle rifle for the MK18 mod 0, right? Ammunition will go ahead and skip. If you wanted that black finish, you could use the XRK or just go with a 50 round Stenag mag. And then under barrel, we'll go ahead and do the Ranger 4 grip. This is going to give us recoil control as well as aiming stability, con being aiming while walking, and ADS speed. You could also go with a Commando or even a Operative 4 grip if you wanted, but the Ranger 4 grip is going to give us the best accuracy for the way we're using the MK18 CQBR mod 0. So this is the MK18 CQBR mod 0. So I built this out of, I believe it's the standard M4. So if I were to take the paint off, you can see there, that's just the base M4 that I use in the game. We put this camo on to kind of hide that tan colored pistol grip there, right? We kind of want to give it that more so of a black finish. So that is our MK18 mod 0. Next for our mod 1, what I'll do is go to the attachments. We're going to strip this. So actually the barrel in game, the base barrel is more of a mod 1 MK18 barrel. It's incorrectly labeled. This is an M4. So if I were to, let me just take this camo off quick. Base M4, right? So this is really actually more closely resembling the MK18 mod 1. So we have that handguard, which is very similar to the Daniel Defense MK18 railed handguard. And we also have some different attachments here that are more similar to the MK18 mod 1. So what we'll do with this particular build, again, is laser. We're going to go ahead and do the tack laser for ADS speed. Optic, we'll go ahead and do a hollow. Grip, we're going to do the same, essentially the same build as the mod 0 was. We're going to do that stipple pistol grip for the ADS speed and the sprint to fire speed. Ammo we can leave, and then under barrel again, we're going to go with the Ranger 4 grip for that recoil control as well as aiming stability that we want. And that's only 4, so again, you can use something else here, but for the mod 1, we want that base barrel. So you can go ahead and do a Force Tac CQCS if you wanted. But for the what it closely resembles is with the crane stock, we want that base M4 stock. So you can go ahead and do a perk, or even you can throw a muzzle on here, maybe like a compensator or something, and then we'll go ahead and throw the camo on to hide that tan colored pistol grip that not a big fan of. And there's our MK18 Mod 1 with the crane stock Daniel Defense MK18 RAS 2 rail system on this. So you can see the handguard is more closely resembled to the MK18 Mod 1 versus what the real M4 has would be this FFS 14.5. This would make it the M4, but the handguard on this, the base, more closely resembles the MK18 Mod 1. So that was our MK18 Mod 1. Now we'll get into the last build that I have here, would be the Colt 9mm SMG. So for this particular one, what we'll do is go ahead and select a different weapon. There's a few different ways you can build this. What we'll do is do it with the carrying handle, I think, for the OG blueprint. So we'll go ahead and do the OG blueprint. We'll select this, strip it on down, and we're going to want the FFS 11.5-inch Commando, again, for ADS speed and movement speed. We're going to keep the carrying handle on this. And then we're going to go ahead and do a stock for the Force Tac stock, CQS. And then we're going to go ahead, under barrel, we'll do a Merc foregrip for this one, recoil control as well as hipfire accuracy. And then for the ammunition, the key one here is we want those 9mm rounds. So again, I made a video on this one already. I'll link that down below. So those are our 4 attachments here. The other one we can do, if you wanted to use an actual sight on this and get rid of that carrying handle, you can go ahead and throw a hollow on there, or you can use that attachment for the grip. You could put a stipple pistol grip on there to help your ADS speed for CQB combat, right? So this is our Colt 9mm SMG, 9mm Parabellum, and the magazine itself changes the way the weapon and the receiver looks, as well as where the bolt carrier is. So I go over that in more detail in the video. I'll link that down below with timestamps as well. And that is our Colt 9mm SMG. And I think that's just about it for the M4s right now. So to recap, we had the M16A3 OG blueprint. You can make that into an M16A4 just with the barrel switch up. You can also make an MK12 Mod 0 as PR. Then we can also do the M4 SOPMOD. You can do the Colt Commando using the OG blueprint here. SR25 using the OG blueprint, or any blueprint you really want for this particular one. Really depends on the variant you want with the pistol grips and color schema. And then for the MK18s, there's 2 different builds, Mod 0 as well as Mod 1. One thing to note, in real life, it has a 10.3-inch barrel versus the 11.5 we have in this game, but again, that's as close as we're going to get for now. And then also, obviously, the Colt 9mm SMG Parabellum here. So that is all of the M4 variants or conversions that I've come up with in this game. I think that's it for now. Another quick one here is that the XRK blueprint itself is more so, actually, it's an M4 variant, but it's also more so closely resembling the Radian Model 1 short barrel rifle. So I'll link this one photo of this in the description as well, or I'll put it in the video. And you can see here, I'll throw that on screen. This is more of a Radian Model 1 SBR build. It has a lot of different, Magpul mags, stock, some different things in here that are mixes of made up, as well as some real ones from Magpul as well. So this is more of a variant of the M4, being the Radian Model 1 short barrel rifle, which comes in 223 Remington as well as 5.56 by 45 millimeter. And those are all of our M4A1 blueprints. Let me know which one is your favorite down below in the comments. Personally, I think I like the SOPMOD, as well as just some different variants off of the XRK. The MK18s are really viable as well. So let me know what your favorite build is. I'm going to be doing probably some more videos wrapping up all the ones with like an AK-47 build too, because there's a lot of different variants we can do with that one as well. I think the M4 as well as the AK have the most different conversions that you can make in the game. So let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you like this video. Again, this is Season 0, all M4 builds with Season 1 launching. I think there's going to be some more via blueprints as well as maybe some different attachments they may add going forward. So we'll do a recap and add to this video at that point. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you like the content. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already. And until next time, Buffnerd Gaming, out.